Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Moin. Hello. Welcome. Hello, Crispin. Jerry's back. You seem left. Right? I know. Left for myself, right for you.
Always stage left.
Demons
Always
up.
the director's left.
Orinoco, Toffee, Rumbly, Denley, Amanda. No, there's no Jerry clone. It's the original one. Clones are too expensive. We can't. Evil BBs. They're not evil. Oh, talking about squirrel, we had a visit at work today with a baby squirrel.
Sweet.
I don't know where it's living because there aren't any trees nearby, but
Yeah,
well,
doesn't matter. I won't stop them. They'll show you. They'll show all of you. Bot war. Bot war. Bot. 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 War.
Well,
War.
you-
War.
So, did you edit Ben's article, or did
Did
you
I? What?
just threaten him?
I don't know what you mean.
Looming Jerry shadow.
It'd been up for 15 minutes and nobody had commented on it, and I assumed that was because there hadn't been some top tips and bot war nonsense in there. So I may have edited it a little bit.
Then I must have really missed the 50-minute window, because normally my my email client pulls new articles from Beast of War OTT every 15 minutes. So yeah.
It got published at like 10:15 in the AM, so 11:15 for you, and then and I went in and nimbly inserted myself like the hot dog between a bun.
Slid into Ben's DMs.
Slid right in there. Bot War Dynaborg pre-order is app. Really? I wonder what we're talking about. Rumbly it. I've ordered mine along with the add-on pack containing more Russian bots and attack helicopter and some sort of battle wagon. For reasons. It's good that they fight the kaiju from the Overlords, because I've spent the day assembling the kaiju from the Overlords.
Ooh, shiny.
Then
hello, Emma.
Yabu
welcome.
Sucks to you, Fritzy. And just start stomping on things. Technically, these are Lloyd's. Anthony sent them for Lloyd. And I was like, okay, I'm doing an unboxing first, though. Then I'll see whether or not he wants them.
No, Demons Up. Jerry's seat hasn't gone down. He just relaxed and leaning back. So
missed the add-on. I'm sure if you contacted Anthony, you could probably get it added in, since it's not going to be shipped for
a month.
2 months. July, August. So yes. So that's all good.
Exactly, Denley. He's just farther away.
Small, far away. Like those crazy Christians who were trying to say that the moon and the sun were the same size because God made it so, and used a photograph where they're both the same size. The 3 lines between them, and this bloke responded by going, "Look, my hamburger is the same size as this car." Small and far away fuckers.
Relax, Jerry. Does he come with extra alcohol and non-footy on TV?
There's football on TV. I'm just waiting for it to kick off. It's only Arsenal and Chelsea. Obviously, an Arsenal win would be good there. That's what I say about my penis. It's far away. It's not small.
Not like, what's his face? Dennis Leary said, when I look down in the shower and I can't see my penis, I stop eating.
That's why you should always have mirrored floors in your showers.
I was thinking about these little undercar mirrors you use to use for inspection to look behind what's on your motor.
That too. So is anybody in Britain there? Can any of you tell me what the fuck this swearing allegiance shite is about?
What?
If you haven't been paying attention, Queen's dead. Dead as a can of spam. Dead as a Nehru suit. So they're getting a new one. He's the brother of that paedophile. Charlie. And during Charlie's coronation on Saturday, the public are being told that they have to, they must swear allegiance. I don't know. It's all a bit fucking hazy. It's something they've just decided to add in. It's getting a bit Lay's Majesty is coming back. All absolute monarchy. His touch can cure dandruff. And if you don't swear allegiance, you'll be hung by the testicles till the blood runs to your head.
I think there's something wrong with this world. Oh, we are invited to, says Stanley. Well, yeah.
Oh, right, okay. Don't mind if I don't then. This is just something that every now and again I keep catching like little snippets of this going, oh, what the fuck? What? Because I haven't heard anything about it. Because I don't really care. John obviously cares. He's booked the entire week off so he can go full King Charlie.
But why would you do that?
He's monarchist type. I believe it's a way to make the public feel included. It's already included. We're paying for this, for fuck's sake. Our money, instead of going to pay for nurses and education,
And public transport.
Is going to pay a billionaire's fucking street party. That's what's going on here. Fuck me. Anyway.
Shall we take a look at some other people's lovely projects?
I am Irish, you're right, Chris, man. But I still have to pay taxes to the bastards. It's god awful. I blame the kids.
It's just a question of time.
Question of sport.
That also.
Oh, well done, Chelsea. 5 minutes in and they still haven't conceded. It's good. Good times.
Mr. Scripps.
Miscellaneous.
Yeah, it's spring clean, but it's last year's spring clean. And I've selected this because it's a lovely project that is completed. And that's the theme for tonight, completed projects. So if you haven't completed your project, you're not getting a look.
If your name's not down, you're not coming in.
No. Hello, Dave.
Wrexham are having an open tour, or open top bus tour of the city tonight, actually. That'd be more impressive.
So, obviously, we have been in this project before because all the nice little buttons are lit up, but not everything. Let's see.
Lit up like Christmas. It's all good.
Count all.
Oh, man, you're scrolling like Lloyd going through his fucking holiday snaps.
Oh, I can be faster if I want to, but I don't want to.
Where are you going to? Oh, you're starting with Count Orlok.
Yes. Because
he's a good looking fella.
He's nice, a nice baldy one.
No, the annoying thing is, at Salute, I completely forgot to go anywhere near Oshiru models to see whether or not they had any of the Highgate miniature stuff with them.
So you forgot to buy?
I didn't buy anything anyway, but I just wanted to see some of them in the flesh.
Oh, okay.
See what they're like. Because I'm like that.
Oh, I need to... hold on. This needs to be closed before it
closed?
Gets annoying. Yeah, there's a little program running in the background, and if I don't close it, we will get annoying notifications.
Oh.
And we don't want that.
The kids are there doing the Lord's own work, keeping things off my back. There seems to be something up here, though. What's? Oh no, hang on. Other side, because we're reversed in your OBS. What's this little square up here?
Yeah, I don't know why, but that's the window that my face would be in. And since I'm not transmitting any picture to you, I have. But this has been there for ages now.
Yeah, if you say so. Yeah, if you say so.
You can look up any video. Oh, look, a light shot.
Yes. Oh, well, there are plenty of those in here, thanks to the lovely Mr. Scripps. There's some interesting stuff in his Spring Clean Challenge from last year. Apart from Orlok there. Although I do really like the stippling cobblestones, which you'll see in the next couple of pictures. The only thing that would have made that better for me is if he'd just gone with a flat base and pinned the model in, because you can see the little risers where he's covered the tab. But once the stippling goes on, that starts to mask that quite well.
Yeah, it blends nicely in. And if we're not looking from like 2 centimeters away, I think you'll be hard pressed to notice that.
Oh, very much so. It's something that a few people have used on basing Hellboy. There's been a few Hellboy miniatures, and in fact, an entire set of Hellboy stuff based like that, which looks cracking. I also quite like seeing the World War One salute figures at the start, simply because I've just finished painting a fuckload of Germans, and the French are going up to the studio with me tomorrow for me to hand over to the cants and go, right, bitches, I've done all their uniforms with the airbrush. You can paint all their fucking webbing. So,
is there a game coming up? I feel like
there's lots of games coming up.
Oh,
Any in particular?
I don't know.
No.
Could be. Oh, look, a wizard.
If all goes to plan, I'll be playing Bot War tomorrow. War. Several wizards: the Talisman Wizard, the Whamster Quest Witch Hunter, and Imperial Noble, and then obviously the Whamster Quest Orcs from that layer of the Orc blah 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 catacomb. Maybe, I don't know, something.
Lair of the Orc Lord.
Could be, certainly. If anybody can remember why I needed like 12 of Bug Off the Snotling, because I bought 12 of them at weight order, and I clearly had an idea to have a whole rake of these Snotlings running around with lanterns, but fucked if I can remember what it was. So they're just in a bag in the roof loft somewhere.
Maybe you wanted them as lighting options for your dungeon. Just
Could be.
stick them with the cave.
It'd be an interesting way of doing a dungeon where the lights, the only light comes via the medium of Snotlings that are just running all over the place. So what you can see and can't see and draw line of sight to changes constantly because of the fucking light changing.
And the game mechanic would be a scatter dice from any other Warhammer game.
Oh, you use scatter dice. D10 will do the same job if you need to in a pinch. You just use the pointed end.
Or use this rotating arrow you have with what's it called? Twister.
Twister, yes, could do that. Left nipple on purple, all that jazz. No, because you need full monster bases, full 40mm squares for the shock attack gun. So just having little single lamp lighting ones. Besides, I think by that stage I'd stop playing 40k by a substantial amount of time. So I wouldn't have been going out of my way to purchase anything for 40k based things.
Oh look, there's a painted one.
Look, Harry's loving rusty spoons.
Hello.
God. What was he? Salad Fingers? Is that his name? I like rusty spoons. So yeah, some interesting stuff. The Imperial Noble that comes up fairly shortly with all the slash silk is particularly swish. Very bon vivant.
If he wasn't painted yellow and would be red, I would say that's a certain Sean Connery.
Okay, it's probably where you got the idea from.
Especially with the moustache.
The Sean Connery, that one.
I guess so, yeah.
He's even got his peacock feather cloak. It's a really nice figure, by the way. If you want a Sean Connery from Highlander, go speak to the Germans. It's Werner Klock sculpt.
Oh, Freebooter's Fate fame.
Yep. I also quite like the Grey Wizard, since that was one of just the plastic Talisman Wizards. Every now and again, some of those will pop up. And it reminds me just how nice those plastic single-piece wizards were. Because you had all of the colleges of magic, plus a dark elf, sorceress, necromancer, and something else. He said in a high questioning voice.
I just love these old school orcs. I don't know why. They speak to me in my dreams.
What did you get for Baron's War? I got a fucking message out of nowhere from Lloyd. Literally, I'm sitting doing something and all of a sudden I got a message going, "Have you played Baron's War?" So, nope. I'm trying to find out more about how the game plays. It's like, okay.
Oh, Minotaurs.
Told him to go off and look for Pete's project, because I'm fairly certain there's a bit about gameplay and stats and shit in there. Somebody's definitely done one. Yes.
Oh, love
Bats, rats, and
and spooters.
tiny spiders. Yep, from the Warhammer Quest / they released it as a separate box for Warhammer at one stage, just like the Swarms box set.
Oh, this is why I love the project system at times. There's so much lovely painted stuff to see, and it's completed. The only thing missing is a battle report and B, a group shot of everything at once.
I mean, it's not beyond the realms of possibility.
Oh, I guess so.
Bushido. I was looking at Zenith's Iki Iku today. Iku Iki. I can't remember. I could find out which way around it is because I have the box behind me. They're fighting warrior monks who took the look at Buddhism as a path of non-violence. I went, nah. They went, and you really should stay off the drink and not fuck people. And they went,
Nah.
we're going to do that as well, to be fair. and then proceeded to carve out a little section of Japan for like over 100 years that didn't belong to the shogunate or the emperor. Anytime anybody went near them, they got chinned. It's just great.
We'll just take this little plot of land and you bugger off. Peter knows it all. Footsore did move and face officially.
That's about the Baron's War.
Oh, I hate it when people don't follow up with their videos they promised, especially if it's made by a company.
So did you go all in, Harry, for Outremer then? Or did you just pick one of the factions? While we scroll on to the next.
The next?
Or did you go back a page, have you?
No.
No?
I've just gone up a entry.
Oh, that's right then. Yeah. I assumed you were past all that since you scrolled past all them with contempt.
Yeah, because we did all
past.
those.
Yeah,
So
that's fine.
don't shout at me.
Son of a bitch. Well, yeah, sit.
Gesundheit. So Duffy also manages to get things done, as we have known.
Yes, knock these out in an afternoon.
Yeah, I'm still very much of the opinion that she manages to get them done before they arrive. However, what black magic she uses, I don't think I want to know.
Sits in the back of the posties van.
Well, that would be a sight to see. Have somebody go around with the postman Pat car and being painting and doing stuff in the back.
Oh, can't mention Postman Pat. He's offensive to members of the Yakuza.
Why?
Because he's missing his little finger.
Postman Pat, Postman Pat.
That's why he's banned in Japan.
The world is a weird place.
Isn't it, though? Do with the warp. That's one way of doing it.
So she's just churning out a lot of heavy artillery for a weird game that probably will never catch on, called 40k.
Yep. Well, this was a rescue mission. Considering the paint was the paint flicking off easily before you started it, or was just happy circumstance whenever you decided that you were going to repaint it, that the paint just seemed to come off really fucking easy.
Using a wire brush, going, ooh!
That's why you should always dip your resin in soapy water. Speaking of soapy water resin, my Moonstone stuff's on the way. Hopefully it'll be with me for Thursday.
Okay, speaking of Moonstone, why is it called the Chicken King coronation?
The Coronation chicken, because that is a sandwich / food in England.
Oh.
Coronation chicken. It's like a curried chicken salad type thing.
I was very much irritated because there was no chicken in that article anywhere to be seen.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the paint was flaking off, and hence Tuffy to the rescue.
See, I remember these projects. Picked up the Milton orders and the chosen man. I have one of the Milton order. They did one based on the Knights Hospitaller from.
It's officially replaced by Coronation Quiche.
Could be. What you call him? Ridley Scott, Kingdom of Heaven, the guy who was with Liam Neeson. They made him years ago. So long ago it hurts. For no reason, somebody just fancied sculpting, so they sculpted him as a model. I don't know if they ended up throwing him in as like a freebie or an extra or something into the Barons War Kickstarter. But it's just really nice, simple Hospitaller, although, obviously not as good as Knight Templar, but anyhow.
I really like how Tuffy's Death Corp Creek manages to fit in with the repurposed big tanky thing.
Yes. Well, that's one of the nice things about painting a tank, to match some stuff that you've already got. It's very easy to make them blend together.
I had the thing for 20 years and didn't know that what was I was doing when I first built the Baneblade. Well, that's par for the course for everything we have for a long time.
It was invented for Elizabeth II's coronation and contains ingredients from the various reaches of the empire. Taste of imperialism. Is that where it comes from? All I remember is all you can taste is curry. I got, for a mate's 20th birthday, we made a dirty pint. We were out in a bar and it cost about, I want to say it must have been the guts of about 40 quid, which was a lot for a dirty pint in those days. Because it just started off, it was like, putting a whiskey and putting this. I'm just like going around the bar, putting all the various optics in, then we got them to top it up with Heineken, because it was the worst lager we could find. But I made the mistake, I put Pernod in it. And all you could taste, so he drank it quite happily, even though it was like 120 volume. All he could taste was the licorice or the aniseed from the Pernod. So it completely masked every other thing in there. And likewise, the Coronation chicken, all you can taste is the curry. So,
well, to be fair, curry is already a blend of spices, so...
Yeah, but how are we going to taste the bitter tears of Aboriginals and Pacific Islanders and other people who've been fucked over?
Just look at the soup when the eyeballs pop up.
Fair enough. Presumably they skipped their errand whenever they came to doing it.
Potato?
I can't put potato in. Let's leach all the flavour out.
But adds
bit
substance.
Of soda bread, maybe. Just grate some soda bread on over the top of that Coronation chicken and away you go.
So is this coming Sunday, the Coronation? I totally didn't get anything about it.
See, but the Semtex is Czechoslovakian. We imported that from the Czechoslovakia. So Yellow Man, that'd be good. Saturday, but thankfully they haven't stopped the football. 'Cause Jesus, there would be fucking riots if they stopped the football.
Can you imagine? Now we have to take a break because it's Coronation and we will have a live event on the big telly in the stadium. And
get rightly fucked on that one. Still remember what happened when fucking Diana died and I missed the episode of The Dweebs that night. They cancelled it for up to the date constant fucking scrolling news footage. I'm sitting there after coming home from the pub thinking, this is hot balls. When's my fucking TV show coming on?
Newsflash, she's still dead.
Yeah, well, at this stage, didn't even know she was dead, so it was just constant news of we don't know what's happening.
Accident.
And yeah, we don't know what's happening, and she's not a princess anymore. She was in the back chugging on an Arab's cock.
If that had been the case at the point of accident, I'm guessing that is off.
I don't know. No, the Dweebs was about three tech guys. Think like the Big Bang Theory. Only when did Diana die? 20 years ago.
Oh, it's more than
More?
20 years. Yeah.
So three guys starting a tech company up in their garage, and this woman comes in to be a secretary, and she doesn't really know anything about computers. And then she's looking around the garage and saying, "Oh, this is terrible." And then it's like, "Yeah, we're moving tomorrow. Here's the new address." It's like penthouse, the top of the World Trade Center type. You know, it's like we've made $1 billion overnight. It was great.
Sounds a bit like a precursor to the IT crowd.
Take the IT crowd and Big Bang Theory and put them together, and then release it so long ago that nobody was interested in either of those things, so it never really made it particularly far. That's why it was being shown at fucking 2 a.m. on a Saturday night when I'm coming home from the pub.
It's for the nerdy nerds.
Very much so. Oh, it was incredible. There were some great lines in it, though. You need thick, unsoupy dip. You need to get the right ratio of dip to chip. It was good. There was lots of stuff going on. Can't show you what I was doing alone in my room, but I got really, really good at it.
So, where do we go next?
Well, clearly it's off to BitTorrent or LimeWare and try and find dweebs.
Yes.
But
So,
failing that, we'll go here.
I'm guessing if half the audience will know what LimeWire and BitTorrent is, the rest will just go, "Hmm?"
Well, yeah. Half won't even Google that because they know what it is. Even Googling it was a chance to infect your computer.
Oh,
And the other half's PCs are shutting down even as they start.
the origin of the "I think I've downloaded the wrong movie" meme. So, Grey Primer did, back in the day, a very nice conversion thing. If I remember correctly, this one was also featured on the XLVS, and he got a golden button? Or at least a mention?
It's a good question. I think he got a runner-up for this. Not a golden button, but the actual sprinkling challenge.
Oh yeah, could be that.
He got runner-up. Or he might have actually won one of the categories. I can't remember. It's so fucking long ago.
Nick, if you're still there.
You know how much I've drank between then and now? For fuck's sake, man.
The answer is not enough.
Well, you know.
The answer is always not enough.
On the subject of Irish people doing weird dioramas, is everybody aware of Bobby Fingers?
Nope.
Okay, well that's your job after this show, is to go off and get acquainted with Bobby Fingers.
That sounds like a horrible porn name.
It may well be, but at the same time, it's a channel that just appeared like fucking no time at all ago, and he's only got like 3 videos and they're all fucking great. But anyway, he makes just dioramas, and then when he's finished them, he buries them, and there's clues in the video as to the geolocation of where he's buried them. So,
Bobby Fingers, you say?
Bobby Fingers.
I need to add that to the list.
Oh, you really should. But yeah, the work that Nick puts in is insane. I think the most insane thing though is like he hand primes everything.
Like with brush?
Yeah. If you go down and find the primed construction before he starts painting it, after it's all assembled, it's primed, and then zoom in on it. It doesn't look like it's a spray can or an airbrush. It looks like that man's gone in with a big fuck off sticky brush and just went, "I'm going to do all this." Booby seagulls.
Let's see. There's the primed version. Let's go in.
Well, now you're here, Pete. Actually, that's good.
Yeah, that's
Lloyd
brushed on.
was asking about Baron's War, how it plays. Did you do something about it in your? I told him to just go and look at your project because I don't know how it plays. But I don't know whether or not you actually put something in your project. I thought you had. Fucking, oh my god, that was so far away.
Oh,
there we go.
the soothing sounds of a can being opened.
It's got a widget. A widget has got, as Jack D once famously said, while dressed like a penguin.
So Pete says he likely has.
That's all right. In that case, I've directed him in the right direction. I can only assume this means that he's planning on crusading at some point.
But doesn't he need 2 more people to do a crusade?
Hey, you know. It's, thank you. Could be the way of it. Oh, you can set me off now.
Still no goal.
Oh, no, there's a goal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, don't worry. Just say whether or not they'd scored again, because there was some oohs and ahs there. But no, just some terrible defending. But there are some interesting things in that build, like actually using the leaf springs for the suspension, shit like that. Unnecessary shit, because you're not going to see it because it's going to be upside down.
Yeah, it's a detail that's technically marvelous, but who will ever see that? But then again, he might argue this is just to hold the axle in place.
Technically correct. The best kind of correct. That makes sense, though, actually. Now you say that out loud. Well done, you. That's why I keep you around.
I helped.
Fireforge Dickballs. Weirdly, I was looking at those a couple of days ago, and I shouldn't be, because I don't need any. But I was also going, well, if I was there, I could get those, and I could get these samurai and stuff whenever they come out as well. So,
what the heck are Fireforge turcopoles?
So when the Crusaders arrived, they discovered that the Turks and the Muslim forces had an interesting style of fighting where they would run away from you and fire arrows at your head until your horses killed over and died from heat exhaustion, and then they would come back and stab you. And they went, this is very effective. And so the Armenian and Turks of a Christian persuasion fought in that style for the Crusaders, and they were Turcopoles.
Ah, okay. Now the word makes more sense. I just couldn't wrap my head around that word. It was, that's my brain for you. So, after Grey Primer's Nick, there's a very interesting project that I'm...
Bot war,
Almost.
bot, war.
Kind of. Lorna has dug up Bowie Nini Ball. So actually, this is a cross of Transformers and Gundam for my taste, because it's basically the same.
Weirdly, again this afternoon, after he'd finished tormenting me about the Barons War, he then asked John where he could find out where the official Gunpla for the UK was, and what the difference between Gunpla and Gundam was. And we already know he likes big stompy Transformer robots as well. It's entirely possible that Lloyd's been spying on you putting this list together.
I'd be fluttered.
Saying, no, disassemble Stephanie. It's interesting, though, seeing somebody like that. So is that one of the Bandai jobs, or is it somebody else? Flame? Fire? Fire and Flame?
I don't know. I actually can't.
It's just got the Hasbro label on it, so fuck only knows who actually makes it. Flame. Flame. It is Flame. Okay. So it's interesting seeing what they put out. And I know price-wise their kits are... They've different grades of kits.
Yeah.
Rumley can probably back us up on this one anyway. I know there's different grades of kits, so you can buy like entry level and then medium level and then like super detailed, and at each level they like put more detail, more colors and stuff in. And even at the most expensive, they're still cheaper than some of the GW stuff.
And even at the lowest level, the quality is higher than most model kits.
Well, that's what I was going to say, because the mold lines and seam lines that we put up with from a lot of companies, Gundam-y people would lose their shit over.
They would go
just
and
be
kill
little tiny Japanese fellas seppukuing everywhere for having put out a kit that brought shame on their family.
and every following generation.
Mm.
And I think what I like best about Gunpla and Gunpla-like models is they actually are posable after the fact you've built and painted them. You basically build your own action figure at that point.
Yeah. But I mean, for something like that, Boss War would be amazing. It will never happen though, because the tooling costs is fucking insane.
It is mental. I guess if for some odd reason Anthony would come to a very large sum of money, wink wink, maybe doing some angel dust trading, I'd see him do things like that.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes, cooperation with Fantasy Flight. Do the distribution for Fantasy Flight in Australia. Demon's Up trailer is not part of this set, but I'm pretty sure you can get a set with a trailer. Yeah, I really much do like this. And the thing is, it looks good even though it's just built. There's literally no paint on this. This is just the injection molded plastic, how it is.
Yeah, you spend all your time buffing out the cut marks from where you removed it from the sprue. It's most of your job. Your job is to seamlessly remove these buff marks.
Yeah. But again, I think it's worth it in this case because they are already made to a engineering degree that's just beyond most other companies.
Well, the thing I like about this project is it shows the level of detail that you can get and the sort of things that people can do with colored. Obviously, there's no point in GW doing colored plastic because their stuff is so ridiculously 3D jigsaw puzzle build. You don't have the interlocking parts that you can cover up. But you often look at that and think things like Catless Games, for example, with their Mech Warrior Battletech stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If they were going to take the next step, then the next step to get people in would be to do stuff like this. Like do a big version of Battletech with this sort of engineering behind it that you don't have to paint. You just assemble the mechs, then they're fully posable, articulated, and pre-colored. Stick the decals on, away you go.
Yeah, that would be a very interesting thing, but I don't think Catalyst would do that because they don't do miniatures in-house. They source them out to the...
It's fine. And then just go and talk to these fuckers. There's lots of these different fuckers. Talk to any of them.
A 1/16th scale RC battle mech. That would be awesome, Amanda. That would be a new... I think if John would catch wind or something like that, I think you would see him go boom. Mentally explodey. Walking big stompy robots.
On the subject of plastic kits, before we leave this one behind, Man's Model Moments on YouTube did a great one about a week ago, 2 weeks ago, which is Revel trash? Or are they just taking the piss? And he compared to 1/32 Revel airplanes that retail for about the same price. And one of the kits has been made in the past sort of 4 years, and the other kit is 53 years old. And they're still charging the full price for that. and things like even the instructions are still in black and white. They look like hot garbage. The detail, all the rest, it's all just shit. And it's interesting seeing somebody from a modeling point of view going, companies are taking the piss when they do this, but we accept it in wargaming. Once they've paid for the tooling, there's no reason for that kit 20 years later to still be retailing at the same price or higher with inflation.
Yeah.
That they could then reduce the price, but we just go, but that's just the price the kits are.
It's a topic of its own.
It is. But he's right.
I'm not saying he's wrong.
Oh, he's
Totally
right. Oh, 100% right.
Imagine Gunpla people having to deal with a mess of large Forge World models.
I refer you to my earlier answer of seppukuing Japanese people everywhere.
I think you would find that there were some small planes inbound from Japan for Forge World headquarters going kabooey.
Especially now that we moved out of Ireland. That's perfectly fine. Anyway.
Yeah, deadly, that's pretty much par for the course. I mean, even a proper tooled metal injection mold has a limited lifespan, so if you just calculate over one lifespan...
In this case, it's going on for nearly 6 decades.
Yeah.
So it's not that limited.
But is it still the original tooling?
Yes.
Oh,
and
God.
the fact they're still charging the same price that they're charging for kits that are undeniably superior in every way. You can't even go, they're close or the equivalent. No, the one from the 1970s is turd in comparison, and they've got a brass fucking neck charging for it. Either retool the kit or reduce the price. And it's the exact same thing that happened with Hornby, with the choo-choo trains and Airfix a few years ago.
And they eventually don't call Lloyd.
and they suffered market share. They lost massively, whereas Revell are just going, fuck yous. So but people need to just start going, I want to vote with my wallet. These people are taking the piss. I'm going to buy other kits from other people, and then Revell can either die out or shelve the 6-decade-old fucking things and retool those bastards.
Yeah. Especially in the model making space, where if you have a very
it's not alone though, Dan. It's one of many. It just happened that this bloke had bought it, and then he went and bought a Spitfire that had been same scale, same blah blah blah. Also, he discovered that Revell's numbering system, from 1 to 5, is just based on part numbers.
The arbitrary level.
It's nothing to do with skill of build. It's just how many parts are in the kit. So something can have fewer parts and be a bastard to build, but be skill level 3 because it contains less parts than skill level 4 or 5.
Yeah, and skill level 1 is, I think, just press fit.
Yeah, Tamiya it seems to be the big names. The ones who've been around for a while really seem to rip the piss, whereas the more modern companies know that you can't. I mean, like when slide core tooling was developed that allowed you to do undercuts and sort of shit like that, there were a lot of companies went, oh well, this is great, I will embrace this. And then some other companies went, this is great, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Let's hollow out the base a bit. Why the fuck are you doing that? I mean, technically, yeah, you can, but that's pointless.
It's all about the monies. In the end.
Yeah. So Revell, sure bastards. If it wasn't for the fact their glue is good.
Hello, Nick. You're too late. We already talked about your project. Shame that you came in so late.
Yeah.
So, I think we have another one in the pipeline, don't we?
Yes. It's a surprise.
Okay, surprise. Yes, you did. The boy.
You're going to have to ambiguate the thing, though. There we go. Yeah.
Doing very tiny fighting ships.
No. this should come as no shock to anybody who has a pulse that it's based on the book series / movie of the same name. Unless you happen to be apparently every fucker on the Weekender except me, at which point you have no idea what it is, who it is, or what's going on.
That was a interesting surprise that nobody knew Master and Commander.
Fucking children I work with, I swear to God. Boom! Knows Master and Commander.
At least Lloyd should have heard about it.
No boats. They don't go on train tracks, ergo, why would I even care? Maybe not be what he was thinking.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a very small ship. There may be rigging, but thankfully I don't have to see that.
Yeah, there is rigging, very tiny rigging.
Tiny rigging. I'm not looking. Don't have to see it. So apparently, Poe is a big fan of Master and Commander.
It's a nice movie.
Yeah, so much so that he really wants this model of the captain.
Oh.
That Warlord Games did as a limited edition thing for a specific thing. So you have that many? Cool. I found this one on Fleabay because Poe said he couldn't find one anywhere, so he doesn't know I've got it yet. But the next time we play, he's getting it because he plays games with me. I need to keep him sweet. Otherwise, I'll have to go back to just sitting, staring into the darkness, thinking thoughts on my own. Nobody wants that. That's a very nice mini, actually.
That Paul guy seems to be nice. Nick is saying Paul is the best person I've met this year.
Oh, I heard he was talking to you, actually, on that note. Anyway, Ben was talking to you. I was just thinking somebody was talking to Nick, and they were going, he really seems to enjoy Dead Man's Hand, or is really getting into the cowboy thing. I'm going, wow. I'm going, but who the fuck? Who could it have been? Ben. It was Ben. You're over at the Warhammer Feast.
Can you make John and Justin build a rig full of fleet punishment for not knowing Master and Commander?
I just imagine their face. I mean, right off the bat, sprue gates would be on everything. Never mind anything else.
Harsh punishment, but absolutely acceptable, I feel.
Harsh but fair. I do like the final look of the whole thing. Obviously, rigging.
Doesn't Justin need to finish his angry not dwarves for conquest first?
I don't even know if he knows where they are. Probably threw them in the bin with his other armies. Oh man, you have no idea. I got him to build the French for the Blood and Valor vlog, and so he built like 2 squads or something for me. And I got them home, and there's a hand that's open. There's a rifle with the bolt drawn back that you can balance into that hand, and then there's a right hand that's holding a bullet to put in, and not one of those has been used, but he's used quite a few of marching with arms shouldered, and then that bullet arm going across. It's just like, well, you're just going to jab it in the side. It's like the laziest assembly ever. I had to go through and throw out half of them. Just go, I can't use these. Right, I'll use these. Okay. These ones will kind of do. And then just I had to leave in some of the fucking bullet magnet guys. There's one guy running about with a pistol and a rifle. Who the fuck are you, mate? Just seriously, who the fuck are you? You're not an officer, because I built all the officers already. This is why I can't have anything nice. All I want is just people built to not even an exacting standard. I just want a decent build and clean up. I was going to say the bare minimum, but clearly these are the bare minimum. Stick head, arms, and pack on, and then just fuck it. That'll do.
Oh, I think you'll find the bare minimum would be just to use big pliers and nip it from the sprue grates, and then leave everything attached.
It's not far off it. I did go back in and give them a quick clean up with a knife and then a bit of wire wool, but my heart wasn't in it.
Officers usually carried rifles as not to be sniper targets, says James.
Yeah, but and this is important for the purposes of this game and this box set. Where have you gone, you little fuck? The officer has got the do that. The officer's got the no greatcoat on, the short frock, and then the big leather gaiters up to his knees. So I have an officer, and when I'm looking at a tabletop, I'd like to be able to go, he's the officer, because you don't play with closed lists in Blood and Valor.
Well, I think I've got an idea now for a Halloween themed
Ossifer, it is.
build video. I'll just
Oh,
slap on a miniature and leave school
oh,
gates.
Jesus. Oh my god.
And then I call it Masterclass and sell it on
Oh,
eBay
just
for
pour oil over the top of them. Fucking set them on fire.
burn
They
it.
go up like a dark elf army. Anyway, yes, surprise, very nice. Also, if people are interested in doing that, because that was for Black Seas. He does list the My Mini Factory where he got the sails
model.
and mast lines and rig lines and shit, because the Warlord ones, they're just empty masts and you have to put all the cardboard sails on and they're pinned the hole and don't look right. So that's 3D printed. So
this one is again a old spring clean challenge hobby by Gordon.
3-0 now. That's fucking hilarious.
So again, it's a project we have been visiting before, but not the final result, if I remember correctly. See all these spears, core box done, but where's the next entry? There it is. Look
Oh my
at
god,
those.
it's so far down. Just take a moment just to bask in that. Look at them.
Yes, we know it's last year's project, but it's done, and that's the theme for tonight. Deal with it! Don't you ever listen to anything I say. And why is your keyboard so clean?
It's not. And how can you see my keyboard?
I'm talking about Gorham's keyboard in the background.
All right. I don't know.
Horribly clean.
Maybe she doesn't spend her time eating Watsons and masturbating like you do.
That only applies to my seat, not my keyboard.
I had a friend. Every now and again, she's a little bit OCD. She pulls all the keys off the keyboard.
Oh, nice.
So she can clean everything. And she was doing that one night and realized that she was late to go out somewhere. So she ended up sending me a Microsoft Paint message. Which is like, have to go. No time to put keys on board. Bye. Just scrawled in red spray paint. Save, send that file.
Well, at least she knew how to help herself. That's more than most people can be attested for. Why does this one look like the flutes are eating his face?
No. I think it's painted his skin there, but those you can, but she's Swedish and her keyboard's different because it contains extra letters, and I'm not sure how good she is. Anyway, so the Greek flute actually had like a face mask, like a blue velvet mommy, thing, where when they were going to play those double fluted flutes, that would be strapped to the face and tied on, so you couldn't lift it down in between. So that bulge may actually be the mask part that goes over the nose and mouth. Oh, just over the mouth. Anyway, that goes over the front of the face to just keep playing.
Picture description: rookie mistake gluing this dude and destroying his facial features. Should probably strip it, but being honest, I'm too lazy.
Oh, in that case, just go over it. I think it was leather. but they literally strapped it to their face. As far as the Spartans went anyway, I imagine it was similar for other lesser people in Greece. But yeah, just paint it as a leather cover.
A leather mask.
Yeah. I'm gonna sneeze.
Bless you.
Son of a fuck. Oh my god.
What was that quote again? You were merely adopted by the flute. I was molded by it.
Oh god.
Look at this nice group shot. I love my
Half
group
time,
shots.
3-0 down, unlike Chelsea. You make me feel better about being a Liverpool supporter this season. Yes, the overall look is fantastic. Have you played many games? The guy you were going to play fucked off. What a
That's
prick.
a shame.
Ah,
I bet he was scared about getting his face glued to a flute.
well, that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, but that's. I think there's many games you could use these miniatures in.
Yeah,
For example,
Saka, is that what you're going to say? Didn't have to say that, but yeah. I appreciate you did. Clash of Spears would be another one. Obviously. I mean, there's no reason why you can't go and do another little force up. Just have a little force off. See, this is why you need a pole.
Everybody should have their own pole.
Everybody should have a pole.
Pole.
So you can just go, I fancy doing some ancient Greek warfare this week, Paul. And he goes, okay, cool. Sounds great. What do I have to bring? Nothing. Excellent. It's kind of how that goes.
That's always nice to have somebody to just have a permanent gaming buddy.
Yes. I might see about lending them out. Or maybe if we do like a 23andMe DNA test, we could clone them.
Oh, that would, and then sell it via the OTT store.
See Liverpool on Saturday morning at 3 a.m. Shocking. I mean, you'd imagine at least some of the Beatles, I mean, not all of them are dead yet.
I think
I imagine you'd stumble into Ringo all the time around Lime Street.
Jill has a point. We need a timeshare, Paul.
That's it. Well, yeah, Pete, you're right, mate. 2+ armies for every game. That's how I've pretty much lived my life for the last 25 years. Because I can't rely on any of the feckless fuckers I play with to actually be involved enough to purchase stuff. So.
And to be fair, it's the more reasonable approach, because even if everybody else sells off their stuff, you still have your 2 armies to play. Paint up some time travelers, run them with a solo set of rules where Greeks are the enemy.
Oh my god, like the time tunnel. Every week they would be flying through that massive time tunnel.
My brain just went
people.
to Time Bandits.
Oh, well, okay, you do that. I'm going to stick with the time tunnel though, because that was great.
Oh.
Very true.
Manda, I can play with myself without any armies. Ain't that great? Let's move on to the next project. And I'm not even drinking my special lemonade.
Oh, stay away from the Hitler juice, mate. You're not yourself when you're on it. It's like Snickers.
So, Brick is doing Borg?
Borg. The game that keeps on giving with...
Does it?
Well, Cheesy will tell us. What's the upcoming Borg coming then?
Oh, speaking of mortgage Borgs. Oh, hang on. I recently received a Kickstarter fulfillment.
Right. What Kickstarter are you back?
Oh, ancient times ago.
Oh. Was it Morg Miniatures?
Nope. Not as ancient, I think. Let's
Heresy?
see.
Oh, the heavy metal thing.
Hell Knight. A Doom biker role-playing game by Gabriel Cuyaroga.
Of course it is. Why would it not be?
2 points. It looks great.
Yes.
It's a nightmare to read.
Smells a bit funny. How nightmarish is it?
It's an artsy book. So.
All right, so it's like Mork Borg then.
Yeah. That's why I got reminded, and it's just try finding anything.
Well, what's his most recent? Because he did the gnomes recently. What's his current Kickstarter? I have a sneeze.
Again?
Yeah, I think I'm allergic to
Babies?
being this far down the league. Rangers, okay. German glam metal band called Hair Metal. Oh God. Probably. Be a little bit disappointed if there wasn't. So this used the Warcry starter set, I think it was. Something like that. One of those people's the chicken faces and all that shit. And this was very much a get it done, get out of the way, get on the gaming table, move on with your life. So color-coded contrasts. What gag is what? What miniature belongs to who? Well, as long as you're not colorblind, you'll be able to work it out.
Yeah, it's pretty much gaming pieces at this point. Which is totally fine for a game of this ilk, I find. Though I don't think the terrain is Games Workshop. That looks like MDF.
There's a mix. So the stuff they photographed on with the big sweeping set was part of the Warcry set, and I think the mat may have been something similar. But yeah, the other bits and pieces are MDFs. Possibly even from Foreground / Time Again / Factorum / whatever it is. Whatever they are this week.
Roll the dice, name your company.
Spin the wheel, make me rich.
Matters Battle Systems, says Demon Cell.
Oh, is it? Oh, right, okay. Having seen
James Cuts, he should have gone into hairdressing. Haircuts.
Having seen how some neoprene mats go after time, I begin to think the neoprene, it's a bit of a fad that people start to get annoyed with in the next couple of years.
What do you mean about how they go? Do they go bad? Do you start to crack or?
Oh yeah, the rubber backing perishes. It's not long term, so we've got mats that are literally crumbling apart. The dice trays and stuff, similar, where they've just sort of snapped. You know, the folds become brittle and they snap. So I'm quite happy that I've got quite a lot of cigar box battle mats because they're lovely fleecy things.
Yeah, but I guess this should have been on anybody's radar who had been using mouse pads for any amount of time.
I don't think I've ever had a mouse pad survive long enough to perish through rubber perishing. They've all just got winged in the bin for being shite after a while. Like, this mouse pad is just covered in crud, or I've fucking rubbed the worn a hole in the top of the mouse pad, I bet.
So far, none of my mats have disintegrated, but I've killed more than one mouse pad.
Oh, that's true.
Send it to Warren for a review, and it gets looped up. Yeah.
I'm not sure how old the oldest ones we have up at the studios are, but I think you may even talked about it on camera during one of the vlogs for the pirates. But Justin talked about cutting one of the mats up, and that's because the side sort of 4 or 5 centimeters, not all the way around, but most of the way around, has started to perish and crumble into bits. So it's a bit shitty.
Yeah, I guess. My mouse mat is 50 years old. The lady with a bust as a wrist support. Yeah, having support for your wrist on your mouse pad is very much needed, especially at my age. Shall we go on to the next one?
Yes, let's. I want to see more Forbidden Sam's thing. I've got a load of resin coming from Westphalia. So maybe I'll look into that when they arrive. Theoretically, they're for that game. I just bought them because they were bar sculpts.
3 printed guardsmen by Brushaw. So this is more a what you call it, a statue than a miniature by the looks of it.
Oh no, I think they're painted to be miniatures. Hey, Tuffy, did you get these ones, Tuffy? With the weird, flappy toes on them. Don't have hooves, they've got weird feet.
I can't see any feet or things. It's too much snow.
Snooze. If you look at the first primed one, it has this weird stuff going on at the hooves. And I remember, because I think we looked at this company on a 3D printing as shit one week. And the renders, they had these really weird, odd feet. And it confused me. And then people went, nah, that's what the deathcore have, apparently. And I'm going, all right, fair enough. I always thought they were fucking horses. But at some point, they changed from being horses into horse-like aliens for no reason. No, these aren't horses. These are alien horses in the far future with weird feet.
And then Games Workshop added mechanical feet and stuff.
Ah, well, that makes sense. It's either that or you just kill them all and feed them to the Belgians.
Why the Belgians?
It's where most of the horses were scalped at the end of World War One. England never brought the horses back after World War One. It was too much to transport them. They just got bullets in the back of the head in Flanders and the like, and just fed to the locals. Equus militarum or something. I would not be surprised if that was what they called them. It's an interesting pile of stuff, though. AK, Winsor Newton oils, speed paints. There's a lot going on there.
Coat to arms, oil.
Speaking of,
Games Workshop trademarked alien horses. Well, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Do horses get attacks in 40k?
they used to, because the Rough Riders would get their shock lance attack, but their horse was just at standard horse strength, like in Warhammer, and then always the horses would do more damage than the riders. It's very annoying. Very fucking annoying.
Can't you just get rid of the rider at that point?
Just buy regiments of war horses to stampede over your opponent?
Yes.
I fucking wish. I mean,
go my horses, conquer the world for me.
everybody who's ever had a fucking cavalry regiment attack knows that the horses do more damage.
Nick had horse pizza in Paris. It was bland beef.
It might be where you get it. I have a friend in in Belgium, which is why it came to mind. And her local butcher specializes in horse meat. So
I had
she always said it's kind of a bit, it's like, I suppose, gamey, a bit like deer.
I had horse sausages at one point, and it wasn't really to my liking.
No.
Tasted a bit like rabbit.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Where does that fly come from?
I'm just having a horse army. Especially if they're clever Islamic horses that can do feint charges and stuff.
Dave, if that was a horse's willy, then they've done the horse a favor of killing it, because it was one of these tiny ones.
Oh yeah, 100% jam. Anytime the Reichsguard went in anywhere, it was the horses did the damage. The Reichsguard were just there to provide the armor save.
I thought the Reichsguard was to stay on target.
Yep. Heavy shield is 4s, barding is 3s. Mounted is 2s. Yeah. So your 2+ armor save Reichsguard. Just there to really take the blows so the horses could kick the shit out of wherever you'd got into. Fascinating to see what they do with a new Muslim force. I have their old one that I think they retired a few years ago, or at least they were retiring them prior to getting the molds redone. I don't know if they ever did, but they were one of the older ranges Footsore had. So yeah, it'd be fascinating to see a new range, new sculpts in it.
I'd say we have time for one or two more.
Okay. Speaking of Crusaders, then. He's got his head on him. Look at that. What?
What a head. High Marshal Hellbrecht by Flaboy again. Well, he's seemingly someone who manages to get things done, which is annoying.
Yeah.
Also, I found this very amusing since we've seen the golden butting for
we've seen
the Marco competition clone thing.
D'Artagnan attempting to take on Marco.
Which is
in his own house.
Interesting thing.
Is it whose house? Marco's house. Very different style of painting, though.
Yeah. And colour scheme.
Well, I mean, the golden black is fairly bespoke. Foot slogging force with some Turker pulls.
No, James, not another Mortal versus Marco. I think this is prior to Marco, maybe, potentially.
I don't think it's prior to him. That Marco video is old. But
or Dark Denigan is having flashbacks.
Well, he just decided to finally go back and try it. But it's a very clean paint job.
And it has the orc, which...
Christ on a bike. What do you say? What?
He has the orc, and the cloning procedure was missing the orc.
Orc is optional, as is the head. So you don't have to put the orc on, and you don't have to put the bear head on. You can put a lovely helmet head on so he doesn't get shot in the fucking face. Although I notice he has got some sort of mad Geordie LaForge like hairband thing around his brow there. Maybe that's to stop people just putting one square between his eyes.
I was going to say that's a marksman mark, if anything. Please hit here.
There's some nice little things like the Moline cross on the inside of his cloak as a sort of repeating motif. Shit like that. Fliboy.
Talented little bastard.
Yeah, does some nice work.
So, can you see there's not drilled and a closed barrel?
Oh, well, that's just going to show off in his face.
You won't pull that trigger more than once.
Speak of that again. course he does. I mean, presumably,
Thank you very kindly, Jimmy Scotts.
he didn't wig out and attempt to copy some lunatic, though. Dan, you know, he just went, I'm going to paint this figure, and then sat down and painted the figure and went, I'm done with this now, and moved on with his life.
Yeah, but he has done a very nice little job overall. Maybe a bit too clean for fighting in the grimdark future.
You know. He's got a couple of fellas there with ShamWows to keep him sparkling bright.
Sir,
Bit your
sir,
tongue off.
you still have a little paint blob on your chin. Let me rub that off. And then he gets shot in the face.
Good old face shootings. I like the clean look. I sometimes think people use the excuse of 40k being grim dark as an excuse to just be messy as fuck with their painting.
Well,
you know, I'm not going to paint this neatly. I'm just going to splatter shit all over the place. And if anybody asks, it's done in a grim dark style.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that's not the case. But at the same time, I was always very irritated when somebody had a full platoon of anything and all looked like sparkly new, when the law was, technology has been lost, we just keep things running. And we don't
there's
need
a difference between keeping things running and washing your fucking clothes. You know, there's no reason why Imperial Guard shouldn't always be immaculately presented. So otherwise they get shot in the head.
From behind, from the commissar.
Very much so. Or the captain, if he's any sense, because he'll get one in the back of the head from the commissar if he doesn't keep his men in line.
Bring back Space Marine in camo armor. Did they ever have that?
Yes. In the compendium, I want to say they had alternate color schemes for all the not all the chapters. They did a load of chapters and they had alternate color schemes. So they had things like ash waste camo and shit like that. It was good.
I can only remember the scouts being some kind of camo.
I mean, there was a quote in Rogue Trader that they don't use camo, and then GW being GW in the very next book they released had a fuckload of camo patterns for the various chapters and factions, like the space scorpions and stuff. I remember there being a very vivid red and black jagged interlacing pattern for the space scorpions.
I mean, if anything, Games Workshop is very consistent with being inconsistent.
Yellow and black for the salamanders, I think.
Fire lizards. Well,
could be salamanders then.
We could go for one more, I think, and then our tightly scripted 30 minutes is over for tonight.
No. Memento, por favor. What's going on, Arsenal? It's been 10 minutes and you've not scored again.
So this is again Tuffy, and she did some different things, not really modeling, but doing role-playing stuff.
Role-playing stuff. Oh, in that case, I've got to also add this. Oh, that's not the right button. Oh, there we go. So this is for everybody's favourite Scooby-Doo adventures in Stockholm. Well, it is. So
what happens when I click that link?
The link I've just put in.
Yeah.
That is a 70-page Ukrainian supplement for Vaesen that's free.
Ah, okay.
You can download it there off of the internet. Contains some great artwork from a load of different artists and a ton of new creepy Vaesen from Slavic Europe. So even if you don't like or play Vesson, but you do fantasy, then there's a whole lot of creepy, weird shit, including what I presume is a lesson at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Not yet. Not yet. There
We'll
is a
have
selection of charities at the front if people want to, donate to the We've Got No Food because some cunts have invaded our country. Then they've got stuff like that. But since we're talking about Vesson, may as well chuck that in.
tractor expansion.
Did you see the tractor race game at Salute?
No, I didn't.
There's a video coming up for it. It was the one where I can't remember who. We might not have been filming at the time. It might not have been on the show. But Justin went, Shay told me that one of the interviews is a bit spicy. Might not be able to put it out. I'm going, are you talking about the Bunny Badger Games one at the end? Because they swore a couple of times, but I've no problem with putting that out on YouTube. If you want to beep the swears. But they had several games. They had the Escape Trump's America into Mexico over his wall. They had the Brexit Britain one, and then they had a new one which was a tractor racing game in Ukraine, where the idea was your tractor pilots had to get down, hook up a bit of Soviet armor that had been knocked out, drag it back, and the first one back with some kit to sell was the winner, but they were being pursued by shirtless Putin on the back of a bear. So I'm not sure when that is going out, as far as because they came back and went, oh, we'll put all these out as like a half-hour walk-around video, and I'm going, no, why not? Because it won't cut down to half an hour. I talked to 20 old people, none of them for like less than, let's say 3 minutes, although I'm fairly certain 5 minutes would be short for some of them. So they just, that won't happen. So, and they're having to put them out as 4 videos, half an hour long each instead. Don't give me the camera and the microphone if you don't want me to talk to people about their gaming tables, you cats.
So Taffy, explain to me, why is there a hand coming out of the chest of this guy?
Well, that's because of the joy of AI art. Isn't that one of the early examples? Ears were always wrong and there were always fingers in weird places.
Yeah. Not only that.
Look at them.
But to be fair, for a game that's somehow adjacent to Cthulhu, those weird images work. They just do.
Count the fingers, count the eyes, and then go, they're either from Maharafelt or it's AI generated. It's the only 2 choices. Oh, look at the beard on that man. It's fucking majestic, majestic beard. I like this. There's not enough RPG stuff in the project system.
Yeah, I guess that's due to the fact that text needs to be written and sent off, and then the project system eats the text, and people get annoyed.
Eat the text. Text goes up easier than pictures. The only problem is whenever you attempt to put lots of text and pictures in together, at which point you've made the project system very angry, and it will lash out.
It angers the gods.
Angers something. Angers something.
Maharafelt massive? What?
I believe that's pronounced massive.
I don't know what
Maharafelt.
people are talking
Massive.
about. People are weird.
It's the best way. But yeah, interesting example of both generating the portrait-y things for the AI and then obviously the scenario and bits and bobs to go with. There is another website which is very handy if you're looking to do that sort of thing called, I want to say it's called This Is Not a Real Person.
I think I know the site you're mentioning. Yeah, I think that's...
This person does not exist.
Yeah.
And it's just a random face generator. It will occasionally run into the same problem that AI ones do, in that you'll occasionally get a like weird ear or something like that, or an artifact from people wearing glasses, but they do some fantastic. That's because board game are just the worst people.
Speaking of gaming, I actually last week
Because people
win.
don't like to read, Collins.
I won a game of Star Wars Legion.
Want a game of Star Wars Legion?
Yeah, that's a first for me, but I
I
won.
don't think that doesn't.
And,
Sure.
yeah, I'm pretty sure. But I forgot to take pictures.
Oh my god.
I took pictures for the first 2 turns, and then somehow we got lost in gaming, and at the end of turn 6, I had 4 units left, and he had only 1. And so, yeah. Winning by the sheer decimation of your enemy. And the worst thing is, I've used actual tactics
Tic Tacs.
and put thought
Might
into
be.
my army list building of sorts. I feel dirty.
Dirty.
No, James, not a solo game. It was actually with a dear friend of mine who owned the local friendly game store that closed 2 years ago. Or it was 3 years ago already? I think it's 3 years by this.
Yeah, I think it was before the event.
Yeah, just shortly before. They did start to wear masks at that point. I was Imperial and played against filthy rebels. And I gunned them down. No demurs.
Fair enough.
AI pizza ad. Nick, you're on the bad edges of the internet again. Stay away from that.
Oh, if you want to see quality AI, I think I linked it in the House of Order #Westhouse the other day, but somebody has done a AI trailer for Wes Anderson's Star Wars. So if you're aware of Wes Anderson's films, The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou, Grand Budapest Hotel, and shit like that, then you'll know that they all tend to be weird, character-driven, slow, surreal pieces. And somebody's done it's called like the Star Menagerie, the Space Menagerie. And it's just great.
I think I saw the thumbnail on 9gag or something. Then
Right.
stayed away from it.
Oh no, you definitely need to watch that, because it is great, up to and including the bit where, because obviously he always casts the same people over and over again in his films, and having Owen Wilson as Darth Vader. Wow.
Yeah, I've seen still images of this spot. It's a horror movie in itself.
I'm confused.
Just nightmare fuel.
Like family, but with more cheese.
Don't you want secret things in your pizza? No, I don't.
No, I don't.
I pretty much like to know what's in my pizza.
That's great, but obviously people need to hear with the sound, so they're not going to hear that. Oh, I suppose, do you play your sound on your thing?
This ragtag crew of unlikely heroes, as they navigate the absurdity of the cosmos, challenge the Empire and redefine what it means to be a rebel.
Our mission is simple. We steal the Emperor's artifact, save the galaxy, and maybe find ourselves along the way.
For this mission, we'll need lightsaber, blaster, thermal detonator, paper airplanes, spare parts, and R2-D2.
With a
Paper
star-studded
airplanes.
ensemble featuring the galaxy's most eccentric cast, the Galactic Menagerie is the most delightfully offbeat Star Wars adventure yet. Starring Timothée Chalamet,
The image is
Scarlett
stuck for me on
Johansson,
cake.
Edward Norton,
Oh, no,
Bill
something
Murray,
caught up.
Jeff Goldblum, William Dafoe, Adrian Brody, and Owen Wilson.
Wow.
Coming to theaters this summer, may the Force be with you.
Holy fuck.
It's just, I mean, I would watch that. I would watch the shit out of that.
Oh.
I'm looking forward to Asteroid City, which is due out.
This reminds me of the AI Balenciaga versions of movie trailers with Harry Potter and everybody else.
Oh, yeah, 100%. But the interesting thing about that is it would be an interesting film. Unlike a lot of the other Star Wars stuff that's being shot out at the moment, at least it would be a distinct filmmaker with a vision and just, some weird shit going on. Instead of another retread of a retread of a retread.
I'd love to see the version that Ralph McQuarrie had envisioned when Lucas told him what he wanted to do.
Yeah,
So basically, a
all
movie
the
of the
concept
original
stuff.
concept art.
I mean, they keep showing up in Disney TV shows at the moment. Every time you turn around, you're going, "Oh, there's an original McQuarrie droid."
Yeah, but
There were
but
so
I
many
want
of
that
them in
movie.
the Baby Yoda show.
I want the movie.
Yeah, you're not going to get the movie. You listen to the radio play, and then just flick through the picture book.
I could do that, yeah.
Wes Anderson's Human Centipede was genius. That'd be good.
I'd finance that if I win the lottery. Yeah. Let's not talk about winning the lottery.
No. Well, I didn't do it, so I won't win it tonight anyway.
Yeah. Well, with that said, I'm putting some links in the video descriptions. Maybe potentially I need to look up what
3-1. What? Outrageous.
Bobby Fingers and
Bobby Fingers.
Men's
Oh, yeah.
Models moments. And let's see what...
I just threw them into the chat, and then you could find them from there, can you? No?
I
I don't know how this
that.
works. I might sneeze.
Oh.
Motherfucker.
Down with the sickness. So everybody, thank you for being in chat, being a lovely audience again. And I hope I will see you all back again next week.
Can't.
And also make yourself comfortable with the closing in on 3-year mark. So this was going to be interesting.
It's pronounced Fugu. Fugu. Was that the one you wanted?
I
can't remember.
Well, I want all the monies.
I can't remember the other thing you asked me for. So I'm just going to put the link to Suburban Squatch.
It was
instead.
Bobby Fingers and Men's Models
Bobby Fingers,
moments.
of course. Yeah, Bobby Fingers. That makes more sense.
And you all lot go watch Suburban Sasquatch. I don't want to be the only one besides Jerry to have this impression in my mind.
That is the dissection of it. Obviously, anybody who's seen it knows it's amusing. But there you go. You too can watch Michael Jackson being set on fire.
Yes. See you a lot next week. Goodbye. Where's my button? There's my button. Bye.